What's up, guys? Chiefs Chat, episode 27, and in today's episode, I'm recapping the game that we just had against the Miami Dolphins. So, yeah, I know, guys, I know I'm sorry about this, but I missed the game preview, and, but we got the game recap here for you guys. So, I'm going to talk about that game. I'm going to talk about how I felt about the way things went, and, overall, I will say, going into this game, I'll share some of my thoughts. I didn't expect it to be close. Obviously, I talk about that in pretty much most of my game previews. I don't expect it to be close because the Chiefs are just dominant. But it was close. At the end of the day, the score was close. And, when you look at that, I've mentioned it a few times. That, I even talked to my good buddy Trenton about this. He's been on the show a couple times. But I've talked to him about it. And it gets to a point where the Chiefs are up by, a certain amount of points. In this game, it was 30-10. We were up by, 20 points at that point in the game. It gets to a point where this Chiefs offense, we take a step back. We say, all right, let's change the game plan a little bit. We don't necessarily need to strike down the field. Let's just run. Okay, let's get this clock down so that we can finish off this game. I mean, we heard it in this game, especially. Patrick Mahomes being that closer, being able to go out and finish games, and keep the score at where it is and make sure the Chiefs end with more points than the other team. He's great at that. And that's what he does. I mean, we only focus on him doing that at the end of the game, but he does it throughout the entire second half, really. In this game, especially. I mean, after those first couple of touchdowns, as soon as the second half started, the Chiefs went right into conservative mode. Let's not do anything crazy. Let's just run the clock out. And that's exactly what we saw. Because right as the second half began, okay, we had that strike over the middle of the field to Tyreek Hill. And then we had the Mecole Hardman punt return, which was an amazing play, by the way, by Mecole Hardman. Great job. But we had those two touchdowns, and then we got the safety, so that put us up to 30 points. And at that point, we just kind of said, all right, there you go, defense, get some reps in, try and stop this offense, and we're just going to chill. Okay, we're just going to try and run the clock out. And that's exactly what happened. The final score was 33-27. We only scored 3 more points after that, Mecole Hardman kickoff return touchdown, and then the safety. We only scored 3 more points after that because of the game plan. Okay, we changed it. It's not rocket science, guys. We changed the game plan because of the fact that we were just trying to run the clock out. And, they made it close. It's happened, quite a few times throughout this season where we just kind of let back and we let the team, we let the opposing team rack up points and make it look like it was close at the end. When really everyone knew that the Chiefs pretty much had it locked up, had pretty much had the game in the bag at that point. So, that's kind of my thoughts on the final score. Overall, I think the Chiefs dominated throughout the entire game. Tua, he's a guy that, honestly, in my opinion, he's super smart. Being a rookie quarterback and having, that intelligence, the guy is an incredibly smart quarterback for just being a rookie. It's great, and I think the Dolphins have a very, very bright future with Tua under center. And they've got a few more key pieces of that team. I mean, DeAndre Washington, let's look at him. Let's talk about the way he played. Because DeAndre Washington was a guy, I don't know if you guys remember, but we traded him at the deadline. And see, that's interesting because, I'm not going to name any names, but I, was trying to tell you guys that we had a lot of running backs on the squad that wasn't necessarily getting a lot of touches that could still make an impact on whether it be the Chiefs, another team, they could still make an impact at the running back position. Before we got this certain guy, Le'Veon Bell, I'm sorry, I had to say his name, Le'Veon Bell, he came in and he kind of took away the carries and we had to let DeAndre Washington go. Look what he's doing for the Dolphins. I know they had injuries. I know they had guys out. And that definitely depleted their ability to play, at their fullest. But, at the end of the day, you already know my thoughts on the final score. Wouldn't have been close either way. But DeAndre Washington going to that Dolphins team after we traded him at the deadline and immediately making an impact. I mean, come on. I mean, what can I say? I mean, we've got guys already on the roster that can make an impact. And, I honestly got to relax on the Le'Veon Bell talk because I talk about him so much. But it just baffles me that we signed him. Even to this day, it just baffles me. But enough of that, okay? Le'Veon Bell had 2 carries and 21 yards, so I can't really complain about that. But Clyde Edwards-Helaire was back, so that's fantastic. He had 16 carries, 32 yards, so that's not great. But, he's getting in there. He's working his way into the rotation. And He actually surpassed 1,000 scrimmage yards, so that's fantastic for a Chiefs rookie. He's the third Chiefs rookie in franchise history to be able to do that. So great job, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He's a fantastic player. Super excited to have him on our team for years to come. So, if we can even sign him, honestly. I don't know how we're signing all of our star players. Hopefully we can keep Clyde Edwards-Helaire. But I wouldn't be surprised if we just can't sign him because, we've already spent all of our money on Pat. But overall, my kind of my big takeaways from this game was the fact that, we're just very mistake prone. And, mark my words, guys, because this offense is they are so unstoppable. They have so much firepower, and they are so smart. Eric Bieniemy, the head coach, or not the head coach, the offensive coordinator, he's fantastic. He's incredibly smart. And obviously, Andy Reid is obviously fantastic at calling plays as well. But, the weapons on this offense, along with the head coaches and along with, Eric Bieniemy, his ability to create plays, all of that considered, this offense is just unstoppable. And the first quarter had a lot of mistakes, and that's the thing about this first quarter. It was awful. A couple of interceptions by Patrick Mahomes. They were tipped up in the air and caught by a Dolphins defender, and then that 30-yard sack. But those are just bad luck things. That's just, you never see Mahomes make a bad throw is the thing. He never makes a bad read, and that's obviously due to the fact that he's a very smart quarterback, but also because of the coaching staff. So, I'm sitting here thinking, and I'm like, at some point in the season, it could be next week, it could be the Falcons, it could be in the playoffs. At some point in this season, our offense is not going to miss a step. Our offense is going to fire on all cylinders. And we're going to score 60 points. I'm not kidding, guys. We're going to score 60 points in a game. At some point this season, I can guarantee it. Because we saw it today. We've seen it so many different times throughout the season. This offense is so smart, and they have so many incredible weapons that if we just limit the mistakes, if we stop the interceptions, we stop the fumbles, we stop the turnovers, we are gonna score 60 points at some point this season. It's gonna happen. It doesn't matter how good your defense is, it's gonna happen at some point. What can I say? Okay, this offense is just unstoppable, and we can do it in so many different ways. That's the fantastic thing about this team. We can do it in so many different ways. We can beat you however we want to beat you. We might go into this, next week's Saints game, which, by the way, is a big game. But we might go into this game and say, hey, we want to beat you on the ground, and we can do that. We have the weapons to be able to do that. I don't know what to say, man. I'm just so blessed to be a Chiefs fan. This team is fantastic, and we have not even talked about Travis Kelce. Come on, this guy is incredible. Travis Kelce, obviously surpassing another 1,000-yard season last week. But this guy has, I haven't checked the numbers. I don't know where DK Metcalf is, but he might lead the league in receiving yards. A tight end. He's not a receiver. He's a tight end. Travis Kelce. And let me explain to you guys, I might make a separate video about this, but let me explain to you guys just a quick, maybe like 30-second rant about why Travis Kelce is getting all these yards. He knows the offense, and he knows Patrick Mahomes. We saw him get a lot of yards with, Alex Smith. But with Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce is on a different playing field. He's on a different level because he knows what Patrick Mahomes does. When you see Mahomes, rolling out of the pocket, doing all these crazy things, trying to avoid the pressure, Travis Kelce is usually the guy who, the football ends up to at the end of the play. Because Travis Kelce understands where he needs to be at, on every single play. And he does it so incredibly. He's so athletic at the tight end position. We saw it today. Patrick Mahomes, throwing that pass near the sideline and him just jumping over that corner, just grabbing it on top of his head. Just absolutely mossing him like it was nothing. Travis Kelce is built like a tight end. He can block, but he's a receiver. He's got incredible hands. You got to give him credit for that. Travis Kelce, he has more yards than any other wide receiver in the entire league. What more can you say about the guy? He's unstoppable. Anyway, that's, I'm done ranting, okay? I talked about the game, talked about what's going on, and I'm going to go ahead and cap it off right here. So, a great team win. I'm feeling super good about this football team, and as of right now, the Bills are winning against the Steelers. If they end up securing that victory, we will be the number 1 seed, and I will celebrate. I'll probably drink beer. I'm just kidding. I'm not old enough to do that. But, you know, I might sneak some. Just kidding. I'm not going to do that. Okay, I'm a very good boy. But either way, I'm super pumped about this Chiefs team, and you guys should be too. So, you know, stay tuned. I got another Chiefs chat coming soon. Peace out.